Hello everybody, in this video I will show you how to play My Old Man by Demarco. This one was requested by this guy, thank you for your comment. First, what I'm going to do is tell you how to play the chords. The finger positioning is not that difficult, but it's the notes you play really is what makes it difficult. So I will explain it along with tabs here. Then when I've done that, I will play the full song so you can play along. Yeah, so first I will explain to you how the note, how to play the chords really. So you start off with a G, which looks like this, and the first important thing that you gotta do is you gotta hammer on the bass notes. It's the same for every chord really, so you gotta first hammer on the bass notes, like that, or with or these three, that's also okay. Then after that you gotta play the bass notes, so then you gotta play the full chord except for the bottom string. Then you gotta play the full chord with the bottom string. And after that, that's between every chord, you gotta play the 4 bottom notes like this. So without using your fingers, so like that, so. Directly when you've done these 4 notes, you gotta hammer on the next chord, so which is a C major 7, and then so hammer on the bass notes. Play the bass notes, play the full chord except for the bottom string, play the full chord, play the 4 bottom strings with your finger placed here the whole time, then go to the C major 7 and do the exact same thing. Then go to the F at 9 with the fretted 5th and do the exact same thing again. And then back to the C major 7 and do the exact same thing again. So I hope that was a bit clear. Yeah, you can look at the tabs, and what's important to know is that you don't really have to play it exactly like this, because when you play it the whole time like this, it might sound a bit repetitive, it might bore you. So sometimes you can play more notes than other times, so you can also do this. You can also just play the full chord, that's really up to you. You can change it from time to time, so it might sound a bit more interesting. I'm sure Mac DeMarco, when he's playing it live, he won't do it exactly the whole time the same as I'm doing it. He also changed it up from time to time. Then now I'm going to show you, now I'm going to play the full song, you can try to play along. But after that I also want to explain to you why the F at 9 with the fretted 5th is called an F at 9 with a fretted 5th. And this, you might not find it as important, so you can also exit the video after I played the full song. But if you want to learn something about that, some theory, then I would like to explain it to you. So, but I will do that at the end of the video, so you don't have to worry about that now. Now I will show you how to play the song. So now I want to tell you something about the F add 9 with a fretted 5th, because it sounds like a difficult chord, but it isn't. But I want to explain to you why it's called that, why you call it not an F but an add 9 with a fretted 5th. And some of you might already know this, some of you might have never heard about this, but I will try to explain it to you. So they are all relative to the capo, because this is really a C sharp, of course, but because I have a capo I will call it a C. The same with the F, etc. So the F, an F major chord is normally like this, but the add 9 means that you add the 9th note of the F major scale, which is the same as the 2nd note, which is in G, which is a G note. So F add 9 means you play the F chord, but you also add the 2nd note of the song, of the chord to it. So that's a G when you're playing an F chord. And the fretted 5th, which is the flat 5 you see standing next to the chord, means that you don't play the 5th note of the F major scale, which you usually do when you play an F major chord, but you play the fretted 5th of the F major scale. So normally the 5th note of an F major is the C, I'm sorry. But because you flat it, you put it down a half step, you make it a flatted 5th note, it becomes a B. So that's what I mean by a flatted 5th. It basically means you pick the 5th note of the scale of the chord, which is an F now. The 5th note is a C, and you flat it. You put it down a half step, and that's why it becomes a B. So that's what I want to explain to you. It might be clear for you. I'm sorry if it wasn't clear. Some of you might already know this. Some of you have no idea what I'm talking about. That's also fine. I hope I could be of some help. And yeah, it could. If there's something wrong, please say that, because I do skip some parts, because otherwise it will get too difficult if I try to explain the whole thing. But that's really something I wanted to tell you. Please like and subscribe. Also check out my Patreon and Twitter, and thank you so much for watching. I hope everything was clear.